Hey y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. You're looking for lumber. You're not looking for the cheapest place, but you just want to find a good reputable source where you can regularly find lumber. Well, I've got the video for you. If you're looking for the cheapest lumber around, this may not be the video for you. I have a couple other videos on where to find cheap or even free lumber. There are lots of sources for that. But usually if you're going to be buying cheap, you're going to be spending more time actually prepping and getting it up and running, cleaning it, resurfacing it, whatever it needs to do so you can actually use it as lumber. Sometimes time is money and you'd rather actually just go out and buy it. But where are all of the sources around? My favorite type of place is a local sawyer. It's the guy who has a sawmill out back, he collects local logs, he mills them up, and he sells them at a rather affordable price. Sometimes even green, so you can save even more money and dry them yourself. Sometimes he'll dry them himself in his local kiln, but he's a great person to get to know, and you can build a relationship, contact him and say, hey, I'm looking for this particular type of wood, and he'll be like, yeah, I've got a log over here, I'll mill it up for you. Those are the contacts I'd like to find, but they can be a little hard to actually source. Usually I tell people to go on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and look for people that are listing slabs or local lumber or sawmill, and you're going to find other people like that around you. But that's not always the best place to be able to find them all. So I've thought, you know, what would happen if I collated all the places I know of and then ask everyone around here and say, what places do you know of, and put it all on a map so that you can see, hey, there's lumber sources all around me. I did this a while ago for finding antique hand tools. And so if you're looking for a source to find antique hand tools, I have a collation of every known place I know of and have been told of where you can find antique hand tools called handtoolfinder.com. I'm in the process of doing the same thing for actually finding lumber. But this one's going to be a little bit more difficult. And I'll probably eventually compile the lumber and the hand tool source all into one big map. But for right now, they're two separate ones. And this is where I need your help. So let's go over to the computer and take a look at that. So welcome to my computer, and we're going to go over here to the lumber map. This is where the fun happens. This is a map of the world and every known place I know of to buy lumber. And it is all different types of lumber. So I have a few places in other countries and I'd like to build that out. So if you have a source near you you'd like to put on the map, I'll have information on how to do that in a little bit here. But basically all of these are then split up into different types and different locations. So I can click on one and this one can say Cardwell Hardwoods. He is a hardwood dealer. These are the types of things he has. They hold regular hours. Service is a 3. It's a 1 to 5 scale. Prices are a 3, 1 to 5 sale. So you can find the particular information about it. Up here near Rockford, the place I most often go to is up here in Delavan. This is a local Sawyer. He is amazing. He has really good prices, and if I'm looking for something, he can find it for me. And so this is the way that I can actually look for sources. So if I'm in an area, I can see, is there anything around me? And you can see there's a lot of blanks places where I don't know of any lumber sources there. I mean, you got New Mexico and Western Texas. There's probably not going to be a whole lot of sources. But if you know of something there, let me know. I will have a link to this map down there so you can actually go through and find sources near you. In particular, if you're here like around Philadelphia, you've got a lot of sources for some reason. So far, I've collected almost 400 different sources around the world right now, and I'd like to get that up to 1,000 or more because there are a lot of places to buy lumber around. So if you want to add something, I'll leave a link to this form down below and you can fill this out. Number one, you're going to put in the name of the lumber source. What's the name of the mill, the hardwood dealer, any place where you can buy lumber. Put in its address. I need the address so I can actually place it on the map. Website, if they have website, great, put it in here. If they don't, put a phone number or some way that you can actually contact the people involved. Then down a little bit lower, what is the type of source? Is it a local Sawyer, someone with just a mill and a couple logs? Is it a hardwood dealer, someone who specializes in all different types of woods from around the world and they just sell lumber? Is it a large sawmill, so a place that actually mills up lumber commercially and they have large vats of it all over the place? Yeah, large mill is a different beast to work with. Do they sell other things and happen to sell lumber on the sides, such as a woodworking store or a hardware store that actually sells some hard lumber as well? I'm not looking for the big box stores. Everyone knows about those. I'm looking for other things. You'll sometimes find a hardware store that actually has decent lumber sales as well because they have a contact with a local Sawyer or something like that. And then other general sources such as pallets and reused lumber, reclaimed lumber, things like that where, yeah, I normally go there and I pick up decent stuff. Or if you have something completely different, we've got that for you. Then you can come down below and give us an idea about the types of things they sell. You don't have to fill in all of this, just put in what you normally go there for, or if there are a bunch of other things that they do sell, let us know. That just gives us more information on the map. Then this one is actually kind of really important. Do they have regular hours, or are they by appointment? Most local sawyers are by appointment. A lot of the best places to buy lumber are by appointment. Even some of the large sawmills, you have to set an appointment to go there and have someone who can walk you through it. So yeah, some of the best places to buy lumber are actually by appointment. You have to contact them and set it up, but it's nice to know which is. Can you just show up, or do you have to contact them ahead of time? And then down here, this is probably one of the more important things, service and prices. If it is exactly what you expect and it's perfectly normal, put a 3 on it. If it is really good, I like what they're doing, put a 4 on it. If they are at the absolute top notch, they go over and beyond, put a 5 on it. Same thing with the prices. If they're what you expect for your area, put a 3. If they are incredibly cheap and you always buy more than you need because the price is just too good, put a 5. So kind of put that scaling on there. It may take a few hours for that information to file down. I actually have to go through and approve them. So if I'm sleeping, just hang on. It's going to take me a minute to get them on. But all of those will end up as a pin on the map. So especially if you're in another country, please put that information on. I'd love to collect it. I would also like to know your idea. Should I keep the lumber sources separate from the hand tool sources? Because I have a map of sources where I know to find hand tools and just put a different color on here. These are all different types of things where you can find hand tools, such as retool stores, specialty stores, tool and club meetings, and so you can actually find sources around the world. I do have a few more of these because this map has been around a little bit longer, but I'll leave links to both of these maps down below. Finding a good source for lumber is one of those basic things you have to find if you want to be a woodworker. Otherwise, you're going to be an air worker, I guess. But if you know of a good source, put it in the forum. All the links for it are down in the description. I'll try and pin them in the top of the comments so we can collate one of the largest lists of wood. There are a couple other sources for lumber finders, but most of them are either commercial lumber or they're just not a very large source, or they list all of the local big box stores. Yeah, I'd like to find a list of all of the small local sawyers and places where you can regularly find decent lumber. So if you have a honey hole like that, please let us know. I'm going to throw it on the map and we will have a lot of fun with this. If you have any ideas for how we can make this resource even better, please let me know. I'm wide open to suggestions and ideas. This is one of those resources that would be great to have if you are trying to find that source near you. And a lot of times I will have someone say, hey, I can't find anything like that for me, and I'll show them handtoolfinder.com, and they're like, wow, there's a source just like 3 miles away. It happens all the time. And if you can't find... And if you don't have a good resource to actually find those nearby things, you can kind of be high and dry and just not know about that great resource that's just around the corner. So let me know your thoughts and ideas. Throw those in the comments down below. I do read through all of them, and it does help out the channel. Anytime you hit like, comment, share, subscribe, you throw comments down below, it helps us out. Thank you for that. That means more than I can say. On top of that, if you want to take it one step farther, there are a bunch of names scrolling over here on the side. They are the patrons on Patreon. Without patrons on Patreon, members here on the channel, people who click that join button, we would not exist. We are completely sponsored by you, the viewer. And if you'd like to help out with that, get some extra perks, think about becoming a patron. There's links to that in the description down below, or you can click the little join button and become a member. I think that'll do it for now. And until next time, have a wonderful day. Why is it I want to start singing a Monty Python song about lumberjacks? He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He works someday in your